Hi, I'm Rachel Elder, and today I am talking about our Therapist Connector events and what happened at our virtual networking meeting yesterday, and the topic that comes up every meeting, which is about marketing. So, most of the time, the question is what's working for people? What should I be doing? What should I be prioritizing? Sometimes the thought of, I don't want to market, that's not why I got into being a therapist. And I think I felt this way last year. A lot of people are wondering, like, is it possible to be in private practice? The market feels different. It feels like what was working before doesn't work anymore, and that's very valid and fair. So I love talking about marketing. I think marketing is about being visible. And so there's a different term we can use if marketing feels too business-like. How can you be visible? And that is what I want to talk about today, is how to be visible and my go-to recommendations that I tell anybody, whether you are new to practice or have been in practice for a while and are struggling to figure out how to bring clients in. Visibility is key. So my first piece is kind of replacing the word marketing with visibility. Visibility is our like, know, trust factor. Visibility helps clients know who we are, what we do, the impact we want to make. And if we don't have visibility, we don't have clients. We don't have a way to make the impact that we want to make in the world and in the field of therapy. I totally understand not everyone is like all about the entrepreneur side of business in the way that I am. And having some business knowledge and strategy is important if you want to make a difference. If your goal, like our practice's goal, is to help people grow old and gray together, if that's your goal, people need to know about it. They need to understand what that means. They need to understand how you're going to create that transformation or outcome for them. And the way to do that is making yourself visible, making the work you do visible. And so if we're not marketing, we're kind of just waiting ducks. Is that what they call it? Sitting ducks, sitting chickens? We're waiting ducks, just waiting for people to find us. And it doesn't work like that anymore. We have to try a little bit, or even try hard sometimes, to get in front of our ideal clients. So visibility can be a variety of things. It can be networking in groups or one-to-one meetings. It can be having a social media account and making reels, stories, posts about the work you do. It can be building an email list and creating an email newsletter or a weekly newsletter that's talking about the work you do and tips and suggestions for clients. Facebook groups have referral requests in them, so going there, checking it out, putting your name down if you're a fit. You could put flyers around coffee shops, your community, where your clients might be. It could be offering a workshop or a talk, whether that's a free one or a paid one, but getting in front of a bigger crowd in that way. Business cards as a form of being visible, our websites, blogging. There's so much more, but these are always being visible. And we can do all of these, but my next tip is typically to pick 3. I don't know what it is about the number 3 with me. That's just always been my thing, like 3 things, 3 focuses. But for marketing and visibility, I say, what are 3 things I can do consistently, daily, for a period of time? So one of the best pieces of business advice I got out of the business coaching investments I've made in my career is that the results of today are often 3 months behind or in front of us, not behind us. So if you're going to a Facebook group and posting today, you may not see the result of you putting your name there until 3 months from today. And that's why we have to do consistent daily action of visibility, of marketing, of our practice, of our work. We can't just put a Psychology Today profile and call it good, or just make the website and have it there. We have to do movement behind our visibility efforts. And we need to find 3 things, or, you don't have to pick the number 3, but I would say like 5 or less. Don't do everything I suggested. Do 3 to 5 things, or even 2 things really, really well and consistently, and start to show that accountability for yourself. Did I show up in the Facebook group daily? Am I doing a weekly blog post or a monthly blog post? Am I making sure I'm connecting with people who are either great referral sources or get in front of the clients that I'm looking to bring in and impact in my work? We have to do something daily. So pick 3 things, whatever it is, and start doing it. Start tracking yourself doing it. I shared in a previous post about my struggle last year where I got with my practice and I had stopped being visible for a period of time because I was full. And I felt the impacts of that. All of a sudden, I was like, where are the clients? What am I going to do? My caseload's so light. I'm not able to save for taxes. I'm struggling to pay myself. And so learn from my mistake. Never stop being visible. Part of my visibility practice now is I am in Facebook groups daily. I do blog once a month for my practice. And I also make sure that I am touching base with colleagues I've either networked with before or building new networking relationships. So I always try to have 2 outreaches every month or 2 networking meetings to keep building those relationships and letting people know who I am, what our practice does. And I do that even with the people I've networked with for years, because where I started to where I am today has evolved. So giving them an update, hey, this is something new we're doing. This is a group we're offering. This is a focus in our work. This is a new training I got trained in, and I'm implementing it in my work, so they can be updated of like, oh, this is what Rachel does, or this is what the Connected Couples Counseling team does. So that's a part of my strategy. And then my last piece, because I like the number 3, my third tip, if you're brand new to starting private practice, the first step is to determine how many clients you want to have. The average kind of caseload size we see is about 15 clients per week. And another business coach told me that for every client that you want in your caseload, that's an hour of marketing. So if you want 15 clients on your caseload, that's 15 hours of marketing. Now, no one is like, yay, 15 hours of marketing every week is just exactly what I signed up for. So I suggest breaking it down into a smaller goal. So I think the reality is we don't want 15 brand new clients in a month. That would be incredible marketing and like credible success in that way. But new clients are not a lot of work in a bad way. It's just there's more work and energy in the beginning of building that relationship, getting people started as therapists. So break it down into a smaller goal. This is April 22nd, 2026. So say in May, your goal is to have 5 new clients come into your practice. The idea is maybe 1 a week or 1.5 a week. If that's your goal, then the idea is that you are spending 5 hours of marketing or being visible that week. And you can block that off. So what I did when I first started my private practice is I was just seeing clients on Mondays from, I think like 3 to 7 was my hours. So as I got started and I didn't have clients, 3 to 7 was time to be visible. I was working on my website. I was scheduling networking, coffee meetings with therapists. I was jumping on consult groups. I was listening to marketing podcasts and trainings to help me learn how to be visible and how to fill my practice. And that's what I spent. I made myself go into the office because I was in person at that time. And I made myself sit in the office, or sometimes I'd go to the coffee shop down the street. But the focus was I have to be working on my business and be making myself visible. So that's what I recommend. If you are brand new, you're starting in May, and you have a goal of getting to 15 clients by the end of summer, but starting with 5 in May, spend 5 hours marketing. That might look like 3 hours building your website and 2 hours doing networking meetings that week. Or maybe it's 3 networking meetings and 2 hours of blogging. Whatever it is, be consistent. Don't just do this for a little bit and drop it. Pick 3 things and stay consistent with it for 3 months. The number 3 is just in my realm. But stay consistent. Don't give up too quickly. There's so much imposter syndrome, self-doubt that can come as you build a practice. And it is possible. I think this is maybe the hard part when you're new is you see all these people being successful and you're like, is it possible for me? Is there too many therapists in the field? The field of therapy, people are coming and going. As therapists, there are people retiring, there are people moving into different careers, there are people who are getting started and recognizing it's not for them. There's so much ebb and flow that if you desire to do this, you have a passion and a calling, it is possible. Your mindset is a key part in that. And so you need to be looking for proof it's possible. If you're looking for proof that it's not, you're going to find it. If you're looking for proof that it is, you will also find that. So make sure you're turning to people who have gone before you and asking them, like, what worked for you? What would you do differently? How did you navigate the fear or the self-doubt? I am here. I know my colleagues are here. I know not everyone's always as giving, but there are so many of us that are cheering you on, that want you to be successful, that want you to see that this is possible. Listen to those voices. Don't turn to the people who have the doubt or are telling you it's not. You have to be so careful of who is echoing the desire you want to create. So a little bonus tip, but those are my 3 suggestions. I mentioned some books that I really recommend. I mentioned it in a previous post, but DJ Burr, he's created the Private Pay Practitioners Facebook group. I think I'm getting it wrong. He's got a workbook, a book. I highly recommend those if you're brand new to building a private practice. So many great steps to take to build that are sustainable and easy to implement. I also really love, I haven't finished it fully, but Thriving as a Therapist by, I think it's Megan Gunnell. I love her book because it's showing you all the different ways of like building a private practice, from just like the private practice itself to other income streams. And I think the biggest piece at the like underneath all of this is how we feel about money as therapists. And I totally credit spending so much time and energy investing in my money mindset and really healing, and I'm still healing, but like wrestling with my belief around making money, charging a fee, and how that just shows up in this work. So You're a Badass at Making Money, Chillpreneurs, some really great suggestions of like reading and working on your money mindset. Because if you're a business owner, you have to be comfortable talking about money. That's just the truth. If we could do this work for free, some of us would, some of us wouldn't, but the reality is we are responsible for our lives. We are responsible for making sure that our basic needs are met and that we are curating a life that is sustainable. And so money is a part of that conversation. All right, those are my suggestions. I'd love for you to put in the comment section, what are your go-to marketing suggestions or visibility suggestions? What's worked for you? I really believe in the community coming together and learning from one another. And all of us have different strategies. All of us have different experiences. So drop it below. Let's learn, let's share, let's grow together. Okay.